Hello, let's take a look at Osvald. Osvald is a scholar who is similarly to Cyrus, covers 3 magic damage types. His kit is a bit different though. He comes with a new follow-up mechanic, he actually can self-soul with his ult, and he applies status effects which help with shield shaving, but his skills have a kinda low hit count by today's standards. Here are his skills. Most of them are copy-pastes of each other with small differences based on element. Osvald has a latent power which is similar to one he has in Octopath Traveler 2. It makes his random or AoE spell single target, and also adds debuffs and potency. It becomes available only on turn 5, so you won't have access to any of the shield shaving status effects from the start. A shame. But after that, its cooldown is short enough to use it more frequently. The main damage skill he has is a 3-hit AoE elemental attack. It applies those mentioned shield shave effects, gets more potency, and becomes single target when you use the latent power. Additionally, he has elemental barrage. It's basically a 2-hit fire, ice and lightning. Osvald's follow-up passive will add 3 additional hits, one of each element. Very situational because you'd need to be hitting at least 2 weaknesses for it to be worth using for damage. But maybe with all those weakness implants coming in, there will be a use for it. Osvald has a self-sown ult, which lasts 2 turns, which is actually amazing, and the mentioned follow-up passive. But this passive basically once again points out how underpowered magic is in COTC. I've checked other units who will be doing follow-ups, and they are all physical ones, and they all have AoE follow-ups. What is this? They should really buff Osvald's passive here, because it basically makes his AoE damage much less effective. Such randomness is a curse that just doesn't fit this game, and makes the experience awful. Okay, now his debuffs. He has a couple of copy-paste skills which lower elemental resist depending on an element, and his AX skill is a convenient elemental defense down skill, and it also applies miss elemental attacks effect. All in all, a great skill, but you can't use it with latent power early in the battle. To sum up, Osvald could be better. He is very good in a niche scenario when he or his allies can damage 2 or all 3 weaknesses, and that's basically only Cyrus's chain spell ult and Lemaire's skill that deals all types of magic damage, and that doesn't include skills which hit fire with sword, for example. His other weakness is that he is more efficient when the whole front row deals damage, but that's not ideal at all, because typically you'd have 2 DPS and 2 supports, those supports quite often being solemn and pre-maxed. And then there is this other annoying moment about his follow-ups being random, but you can at least mitigate it if there's just a single target. So all in all, I'd recommend to pull him only if you like magic damage, if you have the Cat Scholar Isla for example. But despite the weaknesses, he is still a self-soloing character who has quite a number of tricks of varying usefulness. Thanks for watching.